TV is like this. It was courtesy of the late Angie. I was studying with her. Yes, we're both doing mass communication. She bumped into Kasavuli at one of these mass supermarkets, and Catherine was like, okay, fine. She had her talking, and she was like, you know what, excuse me, I'm trying to start something new on KTN. Would you be interested? Okay, she was like, yeah, okay, fine. So come for a screen test. So the day she was going for the screen test, she was nervous, like hell. So it's like, Drew, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I was like, you know what? We have time today. Let me take you. So I took her to do a screen test. So when I took her to do a screen test, yes, I met Catherine Kasavuli. So how she saw me, and then from there she saw me just monkeying around. She was just like, this guy, you could just bring me.
Are you serious? That's how you started?
That's how I started.
Oh my God!
Then from there she just said, okay, fine. Hi, how are you? Yes, my name is Catherine. Yes, who are you? My name is Siro. Oh, okay, fine. Nice. Do you mind doing a screen test? I was like, what's that? Like, okay, fine. Stand, look at the camera. There's a prompter. Just read the words that are there. So what happened was I read the words that were there. Then the prompter had a glitch, so the words stopped moving. So I started creating stories as I was going on. So before they realized the prompter was gone, that story is not there.
Yeah.
So I was just like, it stopped. So she's like, hi, hey, you can adapt on the fly like that. Come tomorrow.
Oh shoot!
Then from there we changed.
So it's just something you stumbled upon.
It was a stumble upon.
Are you serious?
It was a stumble upon.
I used to find you so cool, straight up. I used to like, this guy is. Then used to host the show with Grace Msalame.
Yeah.
Me and Grace were in the same high school together. I used to be like, this guy, yani, after high school, after everything, this is the guy who's hanging out with Grace. He has a cool show. Everyone's talking about Andrew Siro. Like, you don't know all the chicks. I'm like, this guy's in such a cool place.
Is that how
He's
you
a
met?
DJ.
Is that how you met?
We met way back. We met in, it was in the 2000s as well. We met in the 2000s because I remember the point in time when Ogopa was releasing 5 tracks. And me, out of the Ogopa album, the track that I loved the most, ironically, was his.
My track, I remember you telling me that.
It was his track because his track they used a buzz generator. That's yes, in music, look it up. There's something called a buzz generator. It's something that gives that grungy sound that yes. So he's the only one who actually had that on his song. And his song had so much impact. Whenever you play BIGPIN, even till today, guys will shout.
His name
Now
is
that's a legacy track because it starts with his name is
Legacy. You had that legacy track.
So it's one of those ones of like in my style of DJing, what I do is I look for energy songs that when you throw them in the right time, I give you goosebumps. That's my aim. If you throw it at the right time, you get goosebumps. You just like die on me. So that's great. Then yeah, but I remember we met Kitambo.
I don't know.
But he was shy like hell.
Yeah.
He was shy like hell. Because I even remember we did an interview with him on stage. Wow. At least now you're more open.
No, I'm trying. Yeah. It's because of this. Was like I'm getting tips again, being in front of the camera a bit more. Some learning. I don't know why. I feel like I remember you from Village Market and from Uba. I think I remember you from
like in a press.
Yes. And I used to, because I remember seeing you then. I'm like, then later on, I'm like, that's the guy who was a stray. But I remember that Siro guy. But I don't think we really, like, I used to see you, like I seen you once or twice, yeah. But it wasn't like, now we met on, but I don't remember at what point, exact point, like where we did it. But it was just those conversations where I've always known him, he's always known me, so we just know each other. But I don't remember, there's not that point of I actually met him at this particular point. Yeah. I can't remember that. But I've always known he's been there. I've always known Siro, he's always been as a DJ on TV. I just always known he's there. But remembering how we met has been crazy.
Did you have artists come up to you to be playing their songs for them?
Of course, that happens. And that happened a lot because at that point in time, accessibility was we're very accessible. No, we're very accessible.
Very actually, yeah.
So artists would come with a CD and they'll give you and tell you, okay, fine, listen to it. If you think it's worth it, play it. And that time DJs were more open to doing that. Right now with technology, there's no CD drive anywhere in most equipment.
Most artists that we've talked to always complain that the DJs don't play enough of their music. As a DJ now, in your defense, what's your response to that?
No, it's actually true. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's true. It's actually true. And the reason is it's based on a lot. Because DJs are marketers of music, the same way that the radio stations are drivers of music. But you can't just play everything. There has to be a standard that is set. So it's like, even in the DJ groups we're in, People share songs, DJs share songs. I've received this from so and so. You guys may think the song is nice. Listen to it. So that's what happens. Then from that, there are people who actually send you songs that they believe personally are nice because they made them.
They like them, yeah.
They like them
They
because
made
it's
them.
their work.
Yeah,
But then when you listen to it and you criticize someone and you're like, okay, fine, you know what? This song could have used this. The same.
I'm changing my conversation.
So constructive criticism sometimes is so difficult for people to take. There are those who have taken it and they've come back and they're like, you're like, yo, you actually listened to what us guys said. Ask ourselves.
Oh, nice.
You know, let's try and push it. Let's try and see how we can get this song out. So it's like that.
So it's content, actually.
It's content.
Oh.
It's content. Content is king in everything. Even in here, content is king. Because it's just not about churning out songs just because it's a sound, just because it's something that sounds sound. And
You know, like how
sound.
back in the day, like artists used to pay DJs to like play their music.
That was not in my era.
You missed that.
Yeah, because I never paid a DJ to play my music as well. So, but I had those
I heard,
instances.
yeah.
Let me ask you, Drew, from your perspective, in fact, like you're the perfect person to ask this because you've been on TV, you've been on radio,
Still am.
still are on radio on 96. And you're a DJ, so you're always on this other platform. What do you feel about the transition of the Kenyan music scene from, let's say, our era, or maybe the era which you knew of Kina Nanoma,
Yeah,
from
Kina Noma.
Kina Noma, coming up to now? What do you feel is like? Do you feel like we've grown, or we are still, just like
With the music
what's your
industry,
take?
my 2 cents on the music industry is it has evolved, and it has evolved in a very positive way because of the roots that had been set by everyone. And by everyone I mean, like, for example, there's Akina You, there's Nameless, there's Joakali, there's Nonini, as in there's Prez. You guys set a base level on how artists can interpret themselves going forward. Some of them are storytellers. Storytellers, you'd see like Major's a storyteller. Storytelling, the first person we knew who used to tell stories is the late Issa.
Issa, yes.
Ayabasi. Then from there, you have, let's look at another. You have Prezo. Prezo is always about the
Flaws
flashiness.
and flashiness and
Of course, you'll find there's another artist who has already picked that up and gone with it.
A lot of them actually.
So now you see, those are the things. You guys started and you set the foundation, and now these guys, they're actually looking back to it. There's a collab that was done the other day. I don't know why I've forgotten that song.
Issa.
Not from Issa. Where you have all the throwback guys, and even I saw Styles in that video. You have all the throwback cats, and you also have the new school guys.
Yes.
And I like the way the sound of music has actually evolved.
Yeah.
It has evolved.
That conversation really, it was crazy. Like we're talking Nameless Nad just the other day, and that song had such a 50-50 impact on it because other guys were like, no, we didn't expect that. It was more of a tribute. But other guys, for example, you're saying to such a good thing. It's that it just showed the whole old school and the new school. You don't need to sing in the videos, just to show that we are all together. And in fact, now since now we're having that conversation, let me make it clear because it's just been going around. Why people not in the video? Why people not in the song? It's not a tribute. The whole idea of that song was not. It's not a tribute song. It's just an appreciation song of new school and the old school era.
It's
and
like
Issa,
to show where the music came from and where it's going.
Issa was just used as a basically like a flag bearer for just that generation because the song actually came up from Dimore. Dimore is the other guy for like a Chungu family, and he just liked the Issa vibe. So he was like, let's do something. So when Nameless came in, it became a whole thing for, you know what, we can include everyone. Let's call Nyash, let's call Pin, let's call Manga in the video. Say that's everyone, So at least I just want to make that clear out. It's not a tribute song. It's just a nice Kenyan song.
Because people thought it's like a tribute song.
People say, why are you talking about Nani on a tribute song? I'm like, no, it's just a song. And if you're singing a song about someone who's not with you there, it doesn't have to be a tribute song. It can just be a happy song, just be a vibe song. So yes, I made that clear.
It's a vibe. Like you see,
It's a vibe.
One of the things that I actually took home from one of the things that I took home in terms of connotation and how that video is done is the fact that Nameless was the one who was driving. It's like a father driving his son.
Exactly, yes.
So that thing was so powerful, and I was just like,
And the message is so powerful. Exactly. We see it in that aspect.
I don't think people got it.
Yeah.
People didn't get it. But
Because Kenyans are too impatient. Like, Issa, okay, and Bob is okay. Why they not singing? What's happening? It's not a song, okay. So like, just take your time and just.
I don't think people got it. It's
Yeah,
like,
so that's
and that's the thing. Also, I want to ask you about this generation. Like, you're a DJ. You said like, it's impressive. The work ethics you had, like after school, you'd stay until 11, and now you get this new DJs because of technology, who like, I feel like have shortcuts to the way DJing is done. Do you feel like that, or do you think that technology has been a good thing? Of course, technology is a good thing, but I'm saying, like, do you feel like they don't have to work as hard as you did?
Case in point, there's a reason why people drive cars and we don't use horse-drawn cars.
Okay.
It's evolving.
Yeah, but that said, in as much as there's that evolution, there's one principle that remains king, and it is passion for what you do. And now that is where you celebrate the good from the great. The greats are those ones who do it out of passion, not for the paycheck, for the passion. And now that's where.
Do you think passion is lost?
Totally. With most of the young upcoming cats, there are very few who put passion ahead of a paycheck. I'll give an example.
That's on both ends actually, DJ and artist.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. There's a year I was doing an event at Bacchus. It was called The Project. It was on Thursday. So what I used to do is I'd tell all DJs who are out there, upcoming DJs, send me a mix, email me a mix that you've done live. And from there, if I listen to it and I feel like there's some value you can blend, at least you know about music and songs. So I schedule you for dates at the event. I tell you come early, so you come at like around 7. We sit down, we have a conversation. You talk to me, you ask me anything about the DJ industry, as in it's more of a mentorship talk for like an hour, 2 hours. By 9, I go on the desk. I warm up the crowd for you so that you are going to play
when you're coming in
the superstar hour at midnight. You're going to play for 1 hour. The crowd is already hyped up. So all you have to do is maintain that hype. And on Thursdays, what used to happen is that's when bar owners and managers used to go out scouting for new DJ talent that they take to their clubs. So I told them that, you know what, all I'm doing is I'm giving you a springboard where if one of these managers approaches you or anything, you sit down, discuss, you deal, you win. All I'm doing is I'm giving you a platform, a springboard.
Wow, I didn't know, Siro, you've done so much. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
Things that you don't
Giving
talk
back to
about.
the
Yeah,
youth.
you give back. So the sad part about that thing is that's why we go full circle to passion versus paycheck. The sad part about that thing is only 4 DJs who actually made it out. Imagine, in a year, 52 weeks, only 4. And 4, no, they added actually, they became like 8. But they became 8 as time went on. But out of the rest, the biggest problem that was there was, first of all, you find somebody, yes, you're good at playing, but then you don't have discipline. Somebody has come through, yes, you know they're going to, before it even gets to midnight, you find somebody's drunk. You find somebody has pulled a 6 week off.
Personality, this.
It's one of those. It was really, really crazy. And after that year, I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. At least I've done my bit for a year. But the thing is, there's passion. It was passion versus paycheck, and I got to really, really see that people have different agendas. So you'll find somebody will be big, then from there they'll fall off the cracks because they put the paycheck in front of the passion. That's the same reason why most people ask me, why do you still set up for yourself? I'm like, you know what, I still set up and set down my equipment myself because I will always do that to ground me and make me remember that, you know what, there's a time you used to do this for other DJs. For these other big name DJs, you used to go, you carry for them, you open for them, you play for them, set down for them, put them in the car, they go home, they don't even give you a bomb. But you are happy because
you were passionate about it, you wanted to do it.
You got the opportunity to play for a crowd of people that didn't know who you were. So you don't go like this, you find somebody says, I heard you at that place, can you come and play at my place?
Exactly.
So
always like referrals.
So
You speak of passion.
Yeah.
Like lately, have you ever like just DJed somewhere just for free, just for the fun of it?
Yeah.
Just like, what?
It's one of those of, like for example, find a friend of mine is playing somewhere. Just be like, okay, fine, you know what? Go. You go till. Let me have fun.
Yeah, let me have fun.
Yeah.
Passion is the same.
Let me have fun.
Yeah, because if you want the money, be like, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that until you give it.
Go, you have fun. Nice. You're playing until how long? You're playing till 3. They'll take 2 hours off your hands. It's just like that.
That's so true. But you see that passion also sometimes it can make you lose that because even me, I've done so many of those passion things. You're like, why? It's like, let's do it, but at the same time, you know.
You lose yourself.
Yeah,
you can lose yourself. But if you're still passionate about it,
that's the
always,
best. Exactly. It always come and you're happy that you're doing it. See, it's not like you're being forced. You're being told.
You're not being forced. And anyway, the thing is also with passion, you have to have a balance because you see the thing is you can't do that.
And
all
then
the
people
time.
can take advantage.
Yes. Because you know, with Kenyans, that's the sad thing about us. Give us an inch, we take a mile.
Yes. For sure.
And we have no regrets about it.
Hey, no,
So did you like, you went into production at some point, right?
Yes,
Team
now
production.
that was after, that was after now, my
After
boss.
rapping, after
Hey.
TV.
TV.
Now that I was still in TV at that time.
Okay.
So now that time, my boss at that time had noticed that I'm really, really tired of on-screen presenting because I could do it in my sleep. It was one of those ones of the show starts at 5. Me, I walk into the studio at 4:59. And I
Just enter and just
I just
go
enter, I make myself up, I'm like, okay,
You're
fine,
ready.
let's go. What's up, party people? This is how we do it. Straight up like your boy Drew. Me.
And you do it so well, bro. I used to look at you like
Go.
this guys.
So for me, it became one of those of it was so easy and it stopped being a challenge. So I actually just started drifting towards production. Okay, started finding out because it was actually in line with what I was studying because I was studying mass communication and I'm actually working in a media
In a media house.
So I was just like, you know what, the opportunity is here. So let me try and see how I can plug myself in. So my boss at that time was just like, you know what, this guy already knows how to run this thing. He said, now I'm out. I've got to do news. So then he went and became a creative for news. So I was like, hey, what do you mean? He's just like, Drew, now, this is your show. Now I'm out. Bye. And that was how I became a producer.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. So that's what I did. Then from there, I remodeled straight up because of, yes, as you said, technology evolving. Then at that point in time, I used to watch a lot of 106 and Park. I used to watch a lot of 106
And
and
BT.
Park.
Yeah, I was on that one.
Yeah.
First Kenyan.
So when I remodeled straight up to bring Terror and K-Trix in, that was just when video mix. We were really trying to struggle to figure out how we're going to plug video mixing into everything because it was such a complicated process. And only guys who had the equipment to do it was Code Red, which I didn't used to work for that time because it was Code Red Blackstar Rivalry things.
Yes. In Blacks.
Yes.
That's another conversation.
So at that point in time, I had to find a way to make it work. So it was very challenging because we're moving from physical sets to virtual sets because that's the time virtual sets were all the rage. Yeah, so getting a virtual set that was going to actually look cool, how we're going to place a table, place a DJ, how we're going to link videos, how we're going to structure the show. So it took like a year to put it together.
What?
Yeah, the new look of Straight Up took a year for us guys to put it together. And also a year because of the technical bits, because of red tape. That's the problem with dealing with big organizations, red tape. Because you see, the thing is, you're trying to introduce something that is very new to people who are used to doing things in a certain way. So when you're trying to ruffle the waters, they're like, you meet resistance.
Yeah,
so they're like, okay, fine, it's a good idea, but can you? And I'm like, okay, fine, you know what, you guys are doing it with this platform of news. Us guys were just doing the same thing, but on a different level, and I also want more time. Because that time our show was half an hour, I was like, in half an hour, I can't do that. I was like, no, me, I want 5 to 7. That will work. So anyway, bottom line is yes. So I became a producer. I became a producer for that show. I produced Straight Up for, I think it was around 2.5, 3 years. And from there, I left and I joined Radio Africa under Kiss TV. So Kiss TV, I started there as a producer and I worked my way all the way to head of TV by the time I left in 2017. So pretty much it's
Head of Kiss TV.
The head of Kiss TV. So that was from 2010 to 2017.
Oh, you were boss.
Yeah, 2017 I was boss. Then from there,
Where did you enjoy working the most? And what challenges did you face?
For me, actually, the place I liked working the most was Radio Africa, and it was because of our CEO. Yes, PQ. It's not about him being nice. It's about the lessons you learn, and the lessons you learn are those ones. First of all, if you don't work in your dream, somebody will hire you to build them.
Yeah.
That's one.
Oh, sure.
Number two.
Everyone says that, but you actually still end up being hired.
Exactly. At the end of the day.
Number two, inspect what you expect. If you want good results, you better expect everything across the board. So it's one of those ones of, it doesn't matter what position you hold in everything. If you're doing a new project, PQ will be there with you all the way.
Or the whole way.
He'll be there with you all the way. So you can't hoodwink him or lie to him about at OCD or different some technical jargon.
Z.
Man's
He knows
very
everything.
sharp. Man's very sharp. So it's one of those ones where you have to come correct with your A game. I remember there's a time we're shooting idents for Kiss TV. Now idents are those station IDs. So we flew in somebody from Nigeria, and I had to actually do the production with him, and the rest of the team from Kenya. That thing was a splash of white on a black wall. Because the production that we had to do in 4 days, we had to do 72 idents, we had to do, I think, 20 stingers.
What are those things?
You see, like for example, when you see those logos that play with things that try to tell you that yes, you're watching Kiss TV.
Yes.
The ones that are shot on the streets.
Yes.
Now, yes, those things. Now we have to go with the production crew. We have to make sure that you get licenses from the city council to shoot. You have to go and book locations. Now you have to do all that. So now for me, because I'm the local, I'm the one who has to coordinate all
of that, yes.
For the creative director, him is come from Nigeria. His work is just creative director and yes, shooting and everything, and then from there he's going to package and edit. But the groundwork was on me.
Wow.
And the turnaround time that we were given was 4 days.
Wow.
Those 4 days, we didn't even sleep. It was one of those ones of we wake up, everybody's there on set by 5. Today we're doing location 1. Everybody's there by 5. By the time we're done with everything, we do like 4 locations in a day. By the time we're done, it's like 11. Guys go and sleep. Next day, 5 a.m. like that. Cycle for 4 days. I said, this is insanity. I said, this cannot be done. In the beginning, when I was told that you only have 4 days, I was like, this can't be.
It's impossible.
That's when I learned. That's when I learned impossible is nothing. Just like, you're a young man. You do this one.
And you made it work.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. Hey. But it's one of those ones of it really shows you your inner strength and what you can achieve when you're determined and when you're passionate about what you do. Because there are so many times that I felt like giving up, but the only thing that stopped me from giving up, or rather, I actually did. The only thing is I never said it out loud. I was just like, I can't do this. It's too much. And I'm like,
I can't give up both. I'm not giving up and vocal.
Yeah.
It's too much giving up going on.
You know, people going to the finish line. So by the time everything was done, yes, I was like, that's one of the most interesting projects that I actually did work on that I really felt fulfilled on. That one was actually really fun.
Like speaking of giving up, like did you have a support system at the time?
Support system defined.
Family that supported you, friends,
Of
people
course.
you were able to go to, mentors.
Of course, at that point in time, let's see, mentors. Yes, and my mentor actually is the person who threw that on my table. Because he was like, okay, fine. He's been thrown down the gauntlet by the boss. Who does he throw it down to?
Yeah, the next one.
Me. Yeah. Just like, boss has told me to do this. You, I'm your boss. And I know you can do this.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, his name, he passed away a couple of years ago. His name was Makari. Makari Kitui, Kisa Kitui's son. So yeah, he was the head of Kiss TV when I was there in 2010. And yeah, from there we became friends and everything. I also got to learn a lot from him in terms of production because he was more on a new age level than where I come from.
Oh, you were from
because these guys in Kiss TV, how they're doing everything was those ones of maximizing on the role of technology with minimum expense. So it was one of those of you go to the other media house. What you find is yes, there are many big machines, but then the tasks they do are small. They can be compacted into one. Into one machine to do all of that. So now that's the advantage.
And
now,
you're from this other era now changing to this.
Yes.
Imagine even the machinery is changing. Literally, the OCSs are changing.
Yes. So now that's the thing. So now I got to learn a lot about all that and everything and. I learned about different technologies. I learned how you can be a one-man show with one piece of equipment and you can actually...
Literally one man.
Yes, one man. I remember my first challenge was a show called Kenya's Greatest Entertainer. It was a karaoke-based show. And it was a karaoke-based show where people come through, they sing, they sing.
Kiss.
Yes, on Kiss TV. They sing, guys vote for them, the guys who win, the guys who actually get the most votes, they win some cash. So, for me, the thing that was actually the strangest was the piece of equipment I was given. I was told, okay, fine, you know what, with this equipment, you are going to do everything. And you know, I'm coming from a place where there's somebody's role, someone's role is to put up the lower thirds of the screen where you see that content. There's another person whose work is to do name straps. There's another person whose work is to intercut cameras.
Yeah.
Where one man,
One man
one man, everything is plugged into that machine. Everything from mics to nini, kila kitu. So you have to control the karaoke machine. You have to control the
Oh my
light.
gosh.
So it was one of those. That's why I say that when I went to KISS, I learned that you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can do
Literally.
anything. Literally, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Because that time I wasn't good in things like chroma kings, what I used to suffer. But it was baptism by fire.
Oh my
It was
God.
baptism by fire.
Fire,
Because it was just like, you know what? I know where you've come from. I know you can do these things.
Was
So
there
it
no
was-
budget, or it was just something you were challenging yourself to do?
it wasn't about no budget. It was about
See, already working.
with what you have. Work with what you have, because I've bought this thing and it can do this.
So do it.
So do it.
So do it,
because
yeah.
it's not like we don't know this thing can't be meaning. You're told, okay, fine, watch that DVD, see what this guy is doing. So he's doing the same thing. So you're telling me it can't be done and you're seeing that guy is doing it.
Yeah, it's doing it there.
Huh?
So let me ask you, find
I have one question. Like we've heard a lot.
Yeah.
You've done a lot.
Yeah.
I just have one question. You left this far behind. Did you ever end up graduating?
Yes, I did.
Finally did.
Yeah, I did. And that, it had to happen because you see, the thing is, that point in time, I was doing a lot. Because if I used to look at the way I look at my day, I still don't know how I used to do it. Because I remember that you wake up in the morning. In the morning, I make sure that my classes were morning classes. So I'm in uni by 9 till 1. Have lunch, go do straight up. That is, so I'm there by 3. Do the show from 5 to 5:30 at that time. No, it was actually, it was 5 to 5:30. Then something that guys didn't know, I had a radio show on Hot 96 at that time again.
Then
I was on Josiah in Uganda. It's called The Liquid. It was from 7 to 10.
Yes.
And I was the DJ. So now I live straight up. I cross the road. I'm picked up by the courtesy van for Hot 96. I go there from 7 to 10. I DJ. I get home at 11. Repeat.
Repeat every day.
So that's Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Then from there, Saturday, you're DJ.
Wow.
Crazy.
Sunday,
So you still
hang down and reading.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was just one of those.
Have you slowed down now?
Of course, I'm 40.
Which brings me to the question.
And Corona ate.
Yeah.
Yo, Maze, Drew, thank you so much for coming. First of all, I need to come for lessons for your breaking, Maze. Your breaking lessons. This guy's breakfast game is 100.
Oh, man.
Like, you don't understand, he's like the best breaky.
Are you
yo,
serious?
yes.
Eggs Benedict.
This guy makes everything. Like, I follow his Instagram, it's like, yeah, breaks, like, it's everything. It's omelets, mashed potatoes, what? It's like, hey, okay, niggas giving me Nini. It's called what? Competition. You know, we've always been at the nice guy who cooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, who whatever's like this Drew guy.
Honestly speaking, the cooking vibe actually, how it started was before I moved out of home. I used to always observe what's happening when my mom's cooking and everything. And then the point in time when we moved out, I moved out of home and I moved out with my brother. Now, it was one of those ones my brother at that time my brother couldn't cook to save his life. And you know you can't eat takeout every day.
Yeah,
You can't eat takeout
tired.
every day. So I remember I moved out when I was 23. So when we moved out, I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I'm gonna start. I remember everything that was there, so I also bought a couple of cookbooks. Started. Yeah, I started replicating what I used to remember. My mom does in the kitchen. Follow some stuff from the cookbooks. Of course, there are lots of messes. Before there were a lot of messes before you learn how you're gonna actually even cook something as simple as rice, stew, and say cabbage, something as simple meal like that. And imagine you end up screwing up something like that.
You're saying it's simple, the people can't even
Right.
So yeah, so it was one of those of there. So as time progressed, I was just like, okay, fine, challenge yourself. But the only reason I actually stopped, because I remember during COVID was when I was very, very active. I stopped because it gets to a point that it's boring. You want people to miss it. You want people to miss it. Yeah, you want people
to that.
You get in your house, you want people to miss it. It's one of those ones of everyone is just like, you know what? Now you pick up. I'm like, why? I can't pick up every day.
Yeah.
I say, like your food, so you pick up.
Too much pressure.
So now you're
Yes,
just
you
like,
can imagine.
so now for me, I'm like, you know what? No. I'll only cook when I feel like.
Are you excited
Exactly.
about where the DJ industry is now, like today?
And excited is not the best term to use. I'd rather say
Hopeful.
Are you
Hopeful.
hopeful?
Hopeful.
what I hope for is a couple of things. First of all, I hope that people actually begin to understand their value, which is one of the biggest things that is the biggest question marks that has been there from the get-go. How to value yourself. I'll give you an example. Like me, one of the main issues, or rather one of my main question marks with DJ schools that are out there is they only teach, what they teach you is the physical aspects and how to connect everything. But they do not teach you the business sense behind it. And that is where everything just goes to the crapper. Because for me, I'm like, you know what? By the point you leave there, you should actually have
The
known,
skill,
you should, you know the
business skill,
DJ skill.
There's more
But the
shit going on.
business behind it.
But know the business. Do you know how to create a brand Bible? Do you know how to pitch for yourself for an event? Do you know how to put a rate card together for yourself? Those are things that they should be taught so that they know that once they step outside, you can't go to a club owner and a club owner says, you know what, may I give you a bottle of black and white and 3 teas and you play the whole night. Imagine things like that are happening till now.
Wow.
Because of the problem is right now there's an influx. COVID, by the way, imagine the pandemic lockdown, so many people learning different skills. One of those was DJ. So now once everything is open, the influx has become extremely
Everyone
high.
is a DJ.
I'll give another example. Like for example, let me look at DJ schools. Let's actually put it into numbers. Look at DJ schools. Let's pick one. Let's say one DJ school has 30 students every month. So that is 30 students from one DJ school in a month. 30 times 12 is how many? 12 times 3, 360.
360.
So you have 360 new DJs every year from one school. How many schools are there? One. Yeah, even over 100. So when you do that math, it shows you that the industry is saturated.
Yeah.
And that's why people have to find different ways of selling themselves or standing out as a brand.
As a brand.
Because just doing this doesn't cut it anymore.
Yeah.
So now the other things that you have to learn to do that are different from the others. So how are you going to become more enticing to this person? How are you going to engage with them when it comes to what makes your performance different? Are you like Mello who stands and dances? For example, that is her selling point. Are you like Mr. T who comes as a duo with MC Nani, with it's called MC Joseph.
MC Joseph.
Then that's the thing. So one is a DJ, one is an MC, and they have a synergy in which they work with in how they interact and handle the crowd.
What's your thing?
My thing, for me, I make you jealous.
Okay.
I make you jealous because when you look at me, I'm animated, so it looks like I'm having more fun than you.
Okay.
Because yes, I have more fun than you because for me,
You're
you're
passionate.
singing, I'm
Yeah.
dancing, I'm
enjoying,
You're enjoying yourself.
So what usually happens is it's a mental trigger because somebody's like, okay, fine, I've
He's
come to
having
the
so
club.
much fun.
This guy's having fun.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? Hey, wait, tequila.
Let me have fun.
So it's one of those, yes. I learned to play with people's psyche, and then from there, it's a musical journey I take you on. A musical journey I take you on is designed to make sure that, number one, you stay, and number two, it's not about everybody dancing the whole night. I know there's a time I'm going to pick you up, and there's a point in time I'm going to sit you down so that you
It's
break.
just about the vibe.
So you have to take people on a sign club. So you have to take somebody, okay, fine. Somebody's there, vibe, nice. Then from there you take them, hey, they start dancing, they can stand where they are because there's no dance floor. They can stand next to the chair, dance. And from there, like, okay, fine. I want you to sit down and drink because if the bar doesn't make money, I don't make money. So I'll take you down. So you'll sit down, you drink, you vibe again. Then from there, after a certain point, I'll take you back up. So that's the whole process, the whole night. So by the end, everyone's happy. You've had a good time, bars made money, I had a good time.
It's a wrap.
And that's it.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
talk
we
to
done
you
really
forever.
good.
Yeah.
Cheers. Can you
So
tell?
many stories.
I know very many stories. Can you tell a young DJ who's trying to come up in the game? Give them one piece of advice that you would leave them with.
Simple. Be passionate. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was your career. My
Be
laptop
passionate.
is written, yes, be passionate. My laptop is written since 2000. And right now it's what, 2022. That's 22 years.
Wow.
Imagine. 22 years and still doing the same thing. So for you, what I'll tell you is be passionate. Because if you're not,
Passion over paycheck.
passion over paycheck. Because if you actually chase them, the money will come. Don't chase it. Good things come to people who wait. The money will come. Just be passionate, be consistent, and also network. Network. Don't wait for it to the skies to rain and bless you like that. You're told God blesses those who bless themselves. So you're not network. It's not like we're inaccessible. These days, if you can't see me, you follow me on Instagram and you DM me. That's what people have done that.
Heard it here first. Now, let the people know, where can they find you at?
Or anything else coming up? Anything coming up?
Oh yes. But I don't know if this will be up before then. I turn 40 on Sunday. That's
I'm there, I'm sure.
So that one is for fun times. Yeah, so that's at the Click Lounge on Sunday. We're gonna be a whole squad of people. Come through, bring your peeps, bring your friends, bring your gang, bring your squad. We're gonna party.
Yes, sir. Mr. Drew.
Yo.
Since 2000.
Since 2K. Since 2K.
Let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Social media, find me at. So it's that one. Okay. But it's like the people know that cameras. Okay, social media. On Facebook, you'll find me as Mista Dru, MISTADRU. On Instagram, at DJ, the letters DJ, MISTADRU. And from that's it. Twitter, I was given a big X. Me and DJ T and it's a wrap. Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
And cheers to you as well. We're at Chorus City Hotel. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us at BigPinsradius. Have a good one, y'all.
Yes, sir. BigPinsradius.